This is the graphic organizer that you're going to be filling out as I go through these notes. I'm not going to show you a lot because I have the pictures already glued on there. But you're going to make sure you want to glue the pictures in the correct places and fill it out as we go. The first thing we're going to talk about is temperature. We're talking about 3 different atmosphere changes and things that occur in our atmosphere. The first one is temperature. And temperature is absorbed heat energy from the sun that the earth warms up, and when the earth warms up, it escapes into our atmosphere and warms up the atmosphere, and that causes our day-to-day temperatures. When the sun is low in the sky, that is causing lower temperatures, and that's when the days are cooler, like you feel in the morning or in the evening when the temperatures are cooler. It's because the sun is lower. And then midday is the warmest because the sun is directly overhead at noon, so that's when you experience the highest temperatures. When I said like heat absorption is what causes temperature, that's what temperature is. Think about being outside in the sun. When you sit in the sun, you feel warm. Sometimes you might even sweat, but as soon as you go in the shade, you're like, oh, it's a little chilly. Like, I think I want to go back in the sun. That's because you're absorbing that heat, just like the earth does, and it changes your temperature just as the earth changes temperature. And then next, we're going to move to air pressure. Oh, I'm sorry, before we move on. Temperature is measured with a thermometer. And so I'm sure you guys know what a thermometer is. You've used one of them, I'm sure, many times. That's just a little example picture. Hint, hint. Kind of looks like the one you're supposed to be putting in your notes. Next thing is air pressure. So air is all the stuff in our atmosphere that is in the air. It's the air. So air has mass. That's what makes it measurable. It has mass, which makes it be measurable like weight. And so you wouldn't think like, oh, I can measure how much air pressure there is, how much air is in the air, but you can because of the mass. Air also is a gas, so it takes up its surroundings. It doesn't, fill a certain space. It fits directly around us because it's moving in all directions. So it presses on all directions on all objects. So it's not just pushing straight down from the top. It's not like someone's sitting something on top of you. It's all around you. After that, there are 3 things that can change air pressure. Those 3 things are water vapor, temperature, and altitude. And we're going to talk about the water vapor one directly after this, which is humidity. When you think about that, you think about the moisture in the air and how it feels. Temperature, that's the highs and lows that occur in the atmosphere as far as how warm it is or how cool it is. Warm air is equal to lower pressure, and cool air is equal to higher pressure. Also, higher pressure means clear weather. So higher pressure is clear weather, but lower pressure usually means rain or wet weather is coming. Air pressure can tell us what is going to occur in the weather in the near future. And it is measured with a barometer, which there's your picture. Think about that for your notes. Next, we're going to move to humidity. And humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air. So just as we said that water vapor can change pressure, humidity is what can change the pressure. So that water vapor, all the water molecules in the air make up the humidity. A humid day, think about moist feeling. Your skin kind of feels damp. Your hair might get frizzy or curly. That's when you know the humidity is really high. So the water on Earth's surface evaporates and escapes into the atmosphere, and that's what creates the humidity. So think about the water in oceans, streams, rivers, and lakes evaporating into the air. All that water vapor is escaping into our atmosphere, and it creates a rise in our humidity. Sometimes it's rare, but sometimes plants, animals, and soil, like damp soil or plants that have lots of water held in them, a little bit can evaporate off of them, but it's not really going to change your overall humidity. So then with that, relative humidity is a part of humidity. It's the more so like measurable part of it. You've probably heard your weatherman say relative humidity. They say that a lot. And the definition of that is the amount of water vapor that is actually in the air at that moment compared to what it could be. So what the most could be compared to what it actually is. And the most that it ever could be is 100%. And so at a given temperature, depending on where you're at, that's how much relative humidity there is. So say you had like 50% humidity, that would mean that the air is only holding half of the water vapor that it potentially could at the temperature it's at. And the humidity is measured with a hygrometer. Hygrometer. And that's spelled weird. It's Hygrometer. And there's your picture of that. Actually, the word says it on there, so that should help you out with that one too. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I can't wait to see you in class tomorrow. Don't forget to fill these out and bring them in.